upon the details that keep continuously coming in throughout the course of today as we approach tomorrow. Rich.
All right, Stacey, thanks very much. And it's a big game. Obviously, the Vikings got off on the right foot last week in St. Louis, have a chance to go to 2-0 with the Mike Zimmer era. And last year, Zimmer was coordinating that Cincinnati defense. Obviously, it's different personnel, Cincinnati and Minnesota. The one that kept Tom Brady out of the end zone for the first time in 56 games.
Yes, sir.
So here's Zimmer now coordinating the Minnesota defense against Tom Brady and the Patriots. One of those facts where you just sit there and you prepare for a show and you start thinking, when was the last time the Patriots are 0-2? And you keep going back record after record after record, and you're like, oh, my Lord, it was the time when Tom Brady first came in place of Drew Bledsoe. That is how long, Michael Irvin, it has been. Is it time to panic in New England?
Rich, you do a wonderful job of pulling up numbers all around a situation.
Well, that's what I do, Michael.
But you failed to mention that I'm on this set, and I started 0-2 and won a Super Bowl, and you're doing what you do. Make sure that we get that out. I don't care when it was. It still happened, and we should get it on this set. Let's get back to the work at hand. And we're talking about Tom Brady and the New England Patriots right now. And listen, 33-8 after a loss is Tom Brady. This is a guy that goes back and get it done after he makes a poor decision or plays a bad game. And we could truly say that maybe he missed some receivers last week that were open, and at times he wasn't as sharp. And we can put it on a lot of things. Maybe they're getting the pressure back to Tom Brady, and maybe he doesn't have the players that he used to have. Whatever we say, we know Tom Brady gets mad at Tom Brady. Giselle Love said he cut off the beard, and now he's getting back to who he is. So I'm expecting to see him back to who he is on the field today. Don't panic. Tom Brady, Cool Hand Luke will get it right.
Don't panic, but there's definitely some issues, Michael.
Rich is still on the 0-2.
There's definitely some issues, and the issues for me are in the trenches, because you send Loki Mankins down to Tampa, and now Marcus Cannon is your left guard. Oh my goodness, the Miami Dolphins just ran through him. It was like a turnstile. I mean, they were doing the snatch and pull, the college rush. That doesn't work on the National Football League, and it was working Sunday. So when you're in the trenches, you give up 191 yards rushing, and I'm looking at Vince Wilfork on the other side of the ball, coming off an Achilles. Looks like he's going to need about a month to get himself back in shape. And then you're playing Dominique Easley, the D tackle from the University of Florida, over the nose and inside. No, fellas. You're going to need to be stout up the middle, because once a run game gets going, you can't dictate anything on defense. You can't play situational football because the situation is not where you want it, Bill. So they have issues, but it's too early to panic for me.
Guys, listen, Tom Brady has earned the right. You know, we're talking about panic for us to say, no, you don't panic because of Tom Brady. But listen, this defense, man, Sap, you said it. Noshawn Marino and Lamar Miller rushed for 191 yards. That's a lot of yards in the NFL to give up for a Bill Belichick defense. Now, in comes Minnesota. We know there's no Adrian Peterson, but if these two young running backs does anything close, there's problems over there. And I'm going to leave it at that. Right now, don't push the panic button.
Right.
But if these two young running backs in Minnesota,
they got issues.
I was worried if Adrian Peterson was playing.
So just to, I guess, recap, no need to hit the panic button, maybe defensively. Michael's 93 team was part of the 11%.
I knew you'll get it.
Part of the 11% that made the playoffs. But the only one of the 11% that started 0-2 because the future all-time leading rush was holding out.
Yes.
And came back.
Yes.
To make the team whole.
It was absolutely, yes. This wasn't a full team.
Let's just say, wait a minute, I got that all from research.
Good job, Rich. Way to go full circle.
Touche, Michael.
Good job.
Good
Good
job.
About the Saints.
Get out of here.
Kurt, is there a time to push the panic button on the Saints, do you think?
I think everybody's making the point that game 2, it's not time to push the panic button. We've seen a lot of things transpire from week 1 to week 2. But just like with the Patriots, I think there's room for concern when we're talking about the Saints. I mean, that defense gave up 37 points and 568 yards of offense to the Atlanta Falcons. But for me, we all know New Orleans goes through Drew Brees. It's all about Drew Brees. And there was some concern for me with how Drew played last week. And I know he's coming off the rib injury, but he missed some throws in that game, guys, that I haven't seen him miss. So he's got to get back into form for them as well.
All right, before we get your take on the Saints, Steve Mariucci, Ian, I think the news is breaking. There's breaking news right now in regards to the quarterback situation in Arizona. Carson Palmer, according to our Ian Rappaport. I'll give you a pop there, Ian.
Thanks, Rich.
You bet, buddy. He's out? He's not playing?
Rich, Carson Palmer is out, according to the source I just spoke with. The Cardinals thought he would be able to play today, despite the fact that he didn't throw hardly at all this week. He tested his shoulder out this morning. I am told it did not go well enough for Carson Palmer to be able to play. So he is now going to be ruled out when the inactives come in less than a half hour. Drew Stanton is set to start for the Arizona Cardinals, Rich.
Yeah, and Drew Stanton, this is an interesting case, Kurt, and I'll come to you first since you're obviously the guy in the Ring of Honor there and you're there in Arizona. A lot of people have been mentioning his name, getting in there, and perhaps running this offense in a manner that's in a winning manner, that he's got what it takes in the Bruce Arians offense. What's your take on Drew Stanton?
Well, I think the thing when they brought Drew in, he came with Coach Arians, and there was a time period where Coach Arians said, this will be my starting quarterback. I believe in Drew Stanton that he can start for our football team. And then things worked out where they were able to make that trade and get Carson Palmer, and he stepped into that spot. But I know Coach Arians had a lot of confidence in him to come in and play in this system, knew the system because he was in Indy with Coach Arians. So I think they believe in him, but I think Carson was really starting to step into his zone with his receivers, have a real comfort zone. So can he step in game one on the road in this kind of situation and play big enough? But you got to also like that defense. I mean, they got a really good defense that I think will keep them in the game, and it's not going to be all about Drew Stanton.
You know, man, having this guy step in, and we don't know a lot about Drew Stanton and what he's going to bring to the table, but, you know, sometimes that backup step in and he could just be special.
Nice.
Special. Sometimes that he can be special. And let's be honest, they're playing the Giants.
Uh-oh.
And we feel good about that. Great game to get your first start again. I mean, after what we saw from the Giants, if that defense and that offense that took the field,
You'll have plenty of time.
Play like that,
Yeah.
you can have a good game.
not even worried about it.
And Mooch,
Not even worried about it.
Mooch, what school did you go to? I know you're dying to mention.
Well, he
What
did
school?
go to Michigan State,
I know
Rich.
you're dying.
He's a Spartan, man. He was, you know what, before he started over there, he was running down on kickoffs. He's a pretty good athlete now.
Right.
And he bounced around since then in Detroit Lions and Indy, and so he gets his shot. I'm only concerned a little bit because he's very under-practiced, right? That starting quarterback's been getting all the reps, and so I wish him the best, but he's really
With a right
under-practiced.
shoulder, Carson should have gave up some of these reps this
I
week,
think
right?
he should have given
He definitely should have given up
And
some
we
reps.
just got
Drew
finished.
should be ready to play.
We just finished talking about the rust of a Tony Romo, and who had gone through some practice, the rust of the greats, Drew Brees and Tom Brady, and now you're saying, hey, young guy, jump right in here. It's one thing to be in practice, and yeah, you look good in practice, but when those real bullets come at you in a game, it's a different thing, even though I should say real pellets.
This is the relief situation.
Right.
You're not a
We should
starting
say
pitcher,
something
you're a
small.
reliever.
Nothing
You
big.
come in and perform.
I got you. I got you. They're not hitting anybody.
Meanwhile, in Carolina, an arrival that outrages a lot of fans because he's playing, and that's Greg Hardy arriving for work for the Carolina Panthers. He's taking on the Detroit Lions today. You're watching NFL Game Day morning on Week 2.
Week 1 is in the books.
Hey, what's next on 3? What's next on 3? 1, 2, 3, what's that?
And a new season means new names, making sure we know who they are.
Cordero Patterson, that's as good as we've seen.
And some familiar names, reminding us to never forget them. Now, it's Week 2.
Hey, we should be fired up, man.
Some surprise teams have emerged, and some perennial contenders limped out of the gate. Big names need big games, and no one wants to fall to 0-2. Starting the slide or starting the run. This is how it begins.
One play.
It's Week 2, and this is NFL Game Day morning.
Introducing NFL Game Day Live, the all-new show bringing you highlights, analysis, and stats from every Sunday afternoon game as it happens.
This is Game Day Live. We're going to be with you all day on Sundays.
NFL Game Day Live today at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network.
The 2015 Hall of Fame nominees are revealed, and we'll break down their chances of making it to Canton. Pro Football Hall of Fame, The Contenders, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network.
I have big news. Bacon and cheese have been stuffed and a crust.
Pizza Hut's new bacon and cheese stuffed crust with hardwood smoked bacon and a blend of 3 cheeses. For a limited time, get a large one topping for just $11.99 and a free 2-liter of Pepsi when you order online. Order now at pizzahut.com.
If you had touchscreen navigation, all-wheel control, and a rear-view camera, where would you take it? Wherever that would be, the 2015 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport will help you get there. It's an Outlander Sport now for $199 a month.
I'm Type E. My golden years will not just be gold-plated. I had 3 different 401ks. E-Trade offers rollover options and a retirement planning calculator. Now I know when I'm going to retire, not if.
Inside the NFL is now on NFL Network.
Touchdown!
The award-winning program with highlights and analysis.
The upside is great with him.
Inside the NFL. Yeah! Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network.
When you own your own business, you have to have marketing materials that represent your brand.
On Vistaprint, we create all of our things to look so much alike.
And it gives you a real cohesive look. From Vistaprint, I've ordered everything from business cards,
flyers,
big postcards,
lots of tons of postcards,
3 full brochures, rack cards.
The rack cards are my favorite product.
Can I give you a list of the Vistaprint products I don't use? Because that would be shorter.
It was unbelievable that this type of cardstock was available at a price point that I could not find anywhere.
The price is great, but once you get the product, it looks like you spent way more money.
So many already count on Vistaprint to promote their business, and because all our products are absolutely guaranteed, you can too. For a limited time, get 40% off all marketing materials when you visit Vistaprint.com and enter promo code TV40.
Everybody's always like, where did you get that? You should just go to Vistaprint. I'm telling you guys.
There's Ndamukong Suh out on the field for the Detroit Lions, getting ready to take on the Carolina Panthers. I don't think he likes that name.
I don't care.
I don't know if that's why you keep saying it.
Go after the quarterback.
Now, we noticed in St. Louis last week, the Rams took some, I guess, a little page out of the Milwaukee Brewers playbook.
Hey, Sap, watch me get on them water skis coming out that turn.
13.
Put fans in big heads and make them run around.
Get him.
Here I see the hips. I see you, baby.
Yeah.
Karaoke.
Yes, sir. And then I ran out of gas.
And then I guess I got it done. Now, the reason why we mention this is there were some players who had such great week ones that it's possible they might have big heads after that week. So we figured we'll get Marshall in the actual head. I got like to breathe right, by the way. And there's Kurt Warner.
Are they really in there?
There's them in there. So the question is, which guys from week number 1 should not get a big head after just 1 week of activity? Warren Sapp, you're first. Which guy? Give me a name.
My man. And Rich, you know it's only my man that can do this. You know, Kyle Williams picked off Michael Irvin's MVP candidate, Jay Cutler, last week. You know, it's nothing like big man with ball, but this right here, watch him step in front of the receiver. Ow! Ain't nothing like that when you can step in front of the receiver as a defensive tackle, pick off the stronger. I mean, look at him. Oh, the big fella. Oh, yeah, baby. Big man with ball. Look at him tucking it high and tight. Don't get the big head, Kyle. You picked off quarterback. Don't worry about it. Keep hunting.
Okay.
Oh, I like that one, man. I like that one. Now, my guy, and he is my man. And I tell all dudes out there, man, go to your coach. Tell him, don't give you number 88 if you are not a bad man. But Allen Hurns, last week, he was a bad man. No one in the history of the National Football League in his NFL debut has caught 2 TD passes in the first quarter. But this man from the U, he did it. Allen Hurns, an undrafted right there, undrafted out of the U. That just shows you people, there's so much talent at the U. Undrafted, and he did that right there. And I'm going to tell you something. Hey, kid, you know it. That's how bad he is. But don't get the big head, buddy. You still got a lot of work to do. You are in the 88 club. I need a few more games like that, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's this rookie running back, guys. 100 yards for Terry Terrence West from Townsend State.
Oh.
They know it. And you know what? 100 yards against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Terrence, don't be getting a big head. You don't go rushing for 100 yards every game in this league, all right? And then the other guy that probably would get a big head is this guy named Marshall, because in the Marshall plan, he featured this guy. He predicted that he's going to have a big game. Are you kidding me? Marshall predicted something right. So, Marshall, I will say to you, you shouldn't get a big head either, but maybe I'm too late. I'm too late because you already have a big head right there, Marshall. So, listen. You guys ready to race? I want to see you race. Who needs the finish line over there?
I'm a finish line.
Back up. Step away. Back up. All right. Okay, let's go. Right there. Stay behind the line. Here's what I'm going to do. Marshall behind the line. I'm going to say ready. Like that. Don't go yet. That's what I want to do. On the whistle. You ready? Move. Get him, Kurt.
Get a little room.
Ready? Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Oh, come on. Come on. Have you ever won a race in your life?
Oh, that's great right there, man.
Marshall, don't get a big head, Marshall.
Oh, that is great, man. Golly. Oh, what? Oh, that's funny, man. My dog will be right back. Hold on, that's good, Kurt. Oh, Kurt walking around.
Coming up, they both disappointed week 1. But who's more reliable, Jay Cutler or Tony Romo? Marshall and Michael tell you who to trust. And later,
Oh, that dagger to the chest.
the childhood hurt that still drives Dez Bryant today. More from our exclusive interview next on NFL Game Day Morning.
All three of us actually got in.
You're hiding something out there. And it is going to send us back to the Stone Age.
Godzilla. Own the digital HD or Blu-ray. At Joe's, we know that one lobster never needs all those forks. What the fork? You have two perfectly good hands, so we fried the fancy right out of lobster. New Southern Fried Maine Lobster at Joe's Crab Shack. Now available Cajun spiced.
Today's high-end cruisers place luxurious and sophisticated cockpits on top of some of the most powerful marine engines. Likewise, GMC offers the proven Duramax diesel and Allison transmission beneath our most sophisticated and luxurious cabin. The new GMC Sierra Denali HD. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. GMC, the official vehicle of the NFL.
Don't just dream of being the hero. Make it happen.
I can't believe we're missing the game for this. We're not. I got XLTE.
It doubles our 4G LTE bandwidth in cities nationwide. So be that guy with Verizon XLTE.
Now get 1 gig of bonus data and our best pricing ever on the More Everything plan.
In my opinion, there are basically two kinds of people in the world. Those who are happy with their car insurance and those who are not. I was one of the nots. So I went online and got an anonymous quote from the General. I got the car insurance I needed, lowered my monthly payments, and picked my payment due date. Now, I'm one of the happies.
Get an anonymous free quote for affordable car insurance with a 97% customer satisfaction rating. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
I can stop whenever I want. The season has begun. Get off me, Richard.
Dave, your house is on fire.
Madden NFL 15, rated E for everyone. EA Sports is in the game.
Xbox One, now starting at $399.
NFL Game Rewind gives you access like a coach.
Follow your favorite team. Relive full games or condensed games right from your laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Plus, with the exclusive Coaches Film, you get the all-22 and end-zone camera angles and tablet telestrator. NFL Game Rewind. Try it for free.
Dez Bryant reporting for work. Crucial game for the Dallas Cowboys. Haven't been 0-2 since the year that Wade Phillips lost his gig midseason, bringing on Bryant's current coach as the interim. Part 2 now of Dez Bryant's conversation with Michael Silver. Michael, take it away.
Thanks, Rich. 4 years ago, Dez Bryant and I sat down in DeSoto, Texas, and he was a bewildered young man. During a long conversation well after midnight, he told me about the pre-draft interview in which then Dolphins general manager Jeff Ireland asked him if his mother was a prostitute, and he wondered why his journey had to be so hard. He remains a work in progress 4 years later, but he's come a long, long way.
You know, I believe when you get comfortable, that's when things fall down. So I get to visualizing what happened in the past, things that I don't want to go back and see. Like, I don't like feeling comfortable. I always like to keep an edge.
Let's finish this game. Let's finish this game. Let's finish it.
The way I was brought up, yeah, it was hard. A lot of my family, they did drugs. I didn't. I wanted to be different. And I thought about that at a very, very early age.
How young?
About 9.
Is there a low moment that you went through growing up?
Well, I'll tell you this. Watching the news, seeing my mom go to jail.
In 1997, Angela Bryant pled guilty to a felony charge of delivery of cocaine and served 18 months in a Texas prison.
Going to see my mom in jail, that's hard, man.
Yeah.
And all of that, I take all of that. That's why I'm the person I am today. I don't never forget that kind of stuff.
Tell me something that if Dez Bryant fans found out, they would be shocked.
I feel like I'm not here for entertainment. I feel like I'm playing the game for a purpose. Like me sitting here talking to you, Mike, this don't supposed to be happening. There's a kid from Lufkin, Texas, 55,000 population, where people say he wouldn't be nothing. Man, when I hear that, I'm thinking in my head, only if you knew, I'm gonna make you swallow those words.
Bryant and Whittle looking Bryant's way, and Bryant has it. Touchdown!
What do you regret most?
I don't regret nothing.
It's part of the journey?
I'm telling you, it's a part of it. Because the guy that I am today is all about growing up and really just understanding. Like, understanding I was young and reckless. Not reckless to where I'm just out doing crazy things. It was me not trusting anybody, not care. I felt like everybody was out to get me. Still to this day, I believe, not a lot of people care about me. And I think that's what gave me a lot of fuel.
This July at training camp, Bryant bristled after watching a video suggesting the Cowboys don't want to pay him like a top 5 receiver.
And every time he would catch a 10-yard or 20-yard out or in, and he would run all the way to the end zone, he would throw up the traditional X and hold up the number 5.
So after I do something good, I'm going to hold up the 5. I'm going to hold it up.
People got the message.
They got it. They're going to continue to keep getting the message.
You're trying to be top 1.
I am, no question. No question. I want more. I put all those doubters, I put them here. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all, yeah, we might be, my family might be not normal like everybody else's, but we going to be all right. As long as I got something to do with it, we going to be all right.
Brings up a question I'd like to have a Players Only presented by Geico. Irv, does the #1 leader in the locker room have to be the quarterback?
Well, it's interesting way you stated. Does the #1 leader in the locker room have to be a quarterback? I mean, you know, quarterbacks, I think, certainly have to be a leader. But being the number one leader in a locker room is different, because the locker room, you guys know, that's the place you're coming after battle and the place you are in before battle. And sometimes when the guys come in, they're down. You need somebody has to get everybody up and get everybody going. So whatever you got going on at home, it's time to let it go. We're in the locker room going to practice. So the quarterback doesn't necessarily have to be the leader in the locker room, but when we hit that field, he has to be the leader on that field because he has to handle the cuddle.
Well, I would just say that I don't know if he has to be the leader. I believe there's teams that can have numerous leaders, or they can have, one guy. I think of Detroit. I think Calvin Johnson is that leader on the field, in the locker room. That's who guys look to first. Now, Matthew Stafford can be a leader, but I think success depends on the quarterback being a primary leader on a football team. And I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, I think back, though, to when I came in the first year in St. Louis. And there's no question at the beginning of the year, I was just trying to find my spot. I was just trying to find my role. But we had great leaders with you and Isaac and Todd Light and those kinds of guys that could be great leaders. So I could kind of to step into it. But at some point, I had to become that guy if we were going to have the success that we wanted to have as a team. So quarterback's got to be up there, I believe, but doesn't have to necessarily be the primary leader in any situation.
But I'll take it from this, because the locker room is a different animal than out on the football field. Out on the football field, my quarterback must lead us and point that way. We all run that way. But in the locker room, I go back to Dilfer, because Dilfer wasn't great on the football field, but in the locker room, oh my goodness, you talking about a great dude that would have the U.S. Open pool, the British Open pool, all those little fun things to get all the guys involved. Whenever we were having fun things, Dilfer was great at that. But I always say your quarterback has to have some president in the locker room. But he doesn't have to be the rah-rah guy, because I'm going to run that. I'm going to run the funny game, because there's a whole lot of tomfoolery that goes on in the locker room, and I don't want my quarterback in that.
And sometimes in the locker room, the leadership part is to stay away from some of that stuff. To kind of to jump in and maybe get involved with this group or that group, but then to step away, and that's part of the leadership process.
And the tricky part about it is there's so many types of ways to be a leader, and we're talking about a bunch of different ways. And when your quarterback isn't that guy, I mean, that's a small case. Most of the time, your quarterback is that guy, because guess what? In that huddle on offense, he is the one guy that can talk to anybody and say anything. And if you do not respect him, and he does not command your respect and prove to you that he's your leader, you're going to have an issue. It's going to be an issue.
The whole team going to have an issue.
Have an issue breaking the huddle and running that play.
Michael, it's the reason why we pay quarterbacks all the money. It's the reason why they are the face of the franchise, because that quarterback must be that kind of person.
You got to get them commingling some kind of way.
Yeah.
You got to get them together some kind of way.
Right now.
Coming up, Eli Manning and the G-Men's new West Coast offense is sputtering. But are the Giants the worst NFC East team? We have the answers. And later, Cam Newton is back in action, and Ndamukong Suh can't wait to welcome him. Can Cam stay healthy? Find out next on NFL Game Day Morning.
NFL Game Day Morning is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The Dueler tires on Terrence Knighton's truck are engineered to be Bridgestone's best SUV tires, and now they have an 80,000-mile tread-wear warranty.
Guess we're gonna be here a while.
First time on a treadmill?
What are you saying?
I'm just saying.
Right now, buy 4 select Bridgestone tires, including the Dueler HL Alenza Plus, and you can receive a $70 Bridgestone Visa prepaid card by mail. It's game on with Bridgestone.
Mama Sherman and the Legion of Superfans.
No sight of them yet?
Keep looking! Their mission, to get Richard Sherman his Campbell's Chunky Soup.
Hi, baby!
Hi, Mama!
Take us home!
Wow.
It's new chunky beer and cheese with beef and bacon soup.
Beer.
Cheese.
Bacon.
I love it.
And Mama loves you.
It fills you up right.
This is Kathleen. Setting up the perfect wedding day begins with her arthritis pain and 2 pills. Afternoon arrives and feeling good, but her knee pain returns. That's 2 more pills. The evening's event brings laughter, joy, and more pain. When Jamie says,
"What's that, like 6 pills today?" Yeah. I can take 2 relief for all-day relief. Really?
And that's it.
This is Kathleen.
For my arthritis pain, I now choose Aleve.
Get all-day arthritis pain relief with an easy open cap.
This time of year, you just need some fertilizer with weed control and a spreader to distribute it evenly. It's not rocket horticulture.
Oh, thank you. It's not rocket grilling either, right, guys?
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
How do action heroes walk away from movie explosions and never look back? Lobster, that's how.
At Golden Corral, add a North Atlantic lobster tail for just $4.99. Just $4.99 only at Golden Corral.
Welcome to No Man's Land. It's a place you've been before, but it's not on any map. So go out there, lose yourself, and find the truth. We're all born wild. Let's keep it that way. The 2014 4Runner. Toyota. Let's go places.
A physically dominant receiver.
He was a man amongst boys. He's a freak of nature.
Whose personal demons jeopardized his career.
For as great as guy as he could be, there were certain times where a switch would just flip.
That's just stupid. You want to be a star in this league? Act like one.
Now he's determined to help others find their way.
I really can't even explain that pain. I want to be the face of this.
Brendan Marshall, A Football Life, Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're in the right place and this is the right time. The 2014 season is in the air. We are underway. Kaepernick goes back into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown. Wow. Hand off Chris Ivory. He's gone. Go, bitch. A 71-yard rumble. Flacco. He'll go deep. Steve Smith. Touchdown. Big plays. Make big plays.
A.J. Green is open. He bobbles it. He's got it. Touchdown.
Breaks a tackle at the 15. He's into the end zone for a touchdown.
Turns up the field to the 40 to the 50. Touchdown.
All right, actives and inactives lists are coming in from across the country. A fascinating one we're going to get to in Charlotte. But first, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Kimberly Jones, take it away.
Well, Rich, the latest is Carson Palmer is inactive. Drew Stanton will make his 5th NFL start and first since 2010. Carson Palmer had an interesting morning. He came out on the field and did a little bit of warming up, a little bit of running. I was told by a member of the organization that Palmer was then going to test his shoulder. It had limited him and really limited him in practice all week long. He was questionable coming into this game. Shortly thereafter, a member of the training staff came out to the field to talk to Cardinals brass, and it was at that point, I believe, that Ian Rappaport reported for the first time that Palmer would not play today. Rich, up until a moment ago, Palmer was standing off to the side where the Cardinals players go in. He simply had his arms crossed and was staring onto the field. Clearly, he's not happy with the situation, but Carson Palmer, because of what Bruce Arians has described as a nerve issue in his shoulder, will not play today here against the New York Giants. Rich?
All right, Kimberly, thanks very much. Ian Rappaport joining us right now. Greg Hardy has been in the news since July, essentially, or even before that. July is when he was convicted, found guilty on 2 counts of assault on a female and communicating threats by a judge in the Mecklenburg County Courthouse in Carolina. Greg Hardy then asked for a jury trial, which was his right, and it has postponed the matter from being adjudicated fully until potentially next year. Right. And with all that is going on with Ray Rice and obviously Ray McDonald in San Francisco, there has been a lot of calls for Greg Hardy to be sat by the Carolina Panthers, and they have not sat him, but he was just deactivated, Ian, moments ago. He is not playing today against the Detroit Lions, and we know of no injury reason for that to have happened. What can you tell us about what's going on there?
Yeah, Rich, it's from what I understand, it's not an injury reason. And there have been calls for the Panthers to sit Greg Hardy, including from the Charlotte Observer. And up until last night and then through the early morning, the Panthers had planned to play Greg Hardy. This news of him being inactive comes right as the inactives were being announced. Certainly a little bit of a surprise. From what I understand, he was not informed of this as he was coming to the stadium, but we know now officially that Greg Hardy is out and will not play for the Panthers today.
Well, Albert Breer is at the stadium covering this game for us here on NFL Game Day morning. Albert Breer is in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Albert, what can you tell us from your boots on the ground situation?
Well, Rich, obviously the deactivation of Greg Hardy is a big story here, and the timing's really interesting. The Panthers had insisted over the course of the last few days that it was going to be business as usual and that they were going to go forward with Greg Hardy as a starter on their defense. And people in Hardy's camp said earlier this morning that he was going to play. So this decision came sometime very, very recently. And now the important question is what happens next. Hardy's not scheduled to be back in court for another 2 months. November 17th is his next court date. So the Panthers obviously have some big decisions to make between now and then. Now for more on the Falcons and Bengals, let's go to Jeff Darlington. Let's go back to you, Rich. Sorry about that.
No. Obviously, there's lots breaking here, Albert. This is the surprise of the morning, and there's many fans of the NFL who are cheering this bit of news. And we also know that the commissioner was supposed to be at an event in the middle of the week on Wednesday night for Jerry Richardson, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, who had a tear-felt moment on the stage in regards to this situation. A lot of people were wondering, well, if you feel that way, where's the proof in the roster pudding? And here he is.
He showed it, yeah.
Deactivated on game day today. This is Rich, a fascinating development, to say the least.
There were some questions about how much discipline teams could instill on players whose legal process had not run its course. And now we have seen 2 instances where teams took it upon themselves not to suspend a player, but to deactivate him, essentially suspending them with pay until things pan out or until whenever.
And Michael Silver is in studio with us. He's been throughout this edition of NFL Game Day morning. He has been here talking about Dez Bryant, but I'd love to get your thoughts on the deactivation of Greg Hardy that happened moments ago.
Well, Rich, good for the Carolina Panthers. This is a new reality in the NFL. Monday started a spiral that has become a public relations nightmare for our league. The Adrian Peterson situation on Friday worsening that. And I think people are starting to understand that this is a massive branding issue that we have as a community. And Greg Hardy's case is still being adjudicated, but the details that have come out are certainly not flattering to the league. If you go back to the early days of Roger Goodell's commissionership, when he basically said, I'm going to protect the shield, whether due process applies or not, I think now the entire league is in a siege mentality when it comes to that. And I'm proud of the Carolina Panthers for recognizing the new reality.
Well, but here's the issue, obviously, Mike, is you know a lot of people are now going to be turning to the 49ers to say, well, what about Ray McDonald? Each case is different, and you do mention that this case has not been adjudicated in Carolina. However, he had already been found guilty by a judge. It is Greg Hardy's right to go ahead and have his trial heard by his peers, and that is what's going to be the case later on. The reason why I'm bringing all of this up is that it just seems that deactivation or suspension is being handed down on a case-by-case basis rather than anything that's codified within a collective bargaining agreement or even just a policy. It seems that it depends on what a team wants to do or what the league wants to do. Is there an issue, you think, with that moving forward?
Yeah, Rich, I'm a big due process guy in general, and I do believe the union needs to be a loud voice in this process. And as a football community, we need to wrap our arms around this issue and deal with it. But this is, as we know from working here this week, this is a business, bottom line. And our business looks terrible right now, not just to football fans, but to people all over the place. And so Jed York, I respect. He has done fact-finding in terms of the Ray McDonald situation. He believes that being knee-jerk and suspending a guy that he does not believe necessarily is going to be found culpable is the wrong thing for his organization. He's a very successful businessman, and he has that right. Jerry Richardson has apparently reversed course, or the people that Jerry Richardson listens to, I would imagine it's Mr. Richardson, though, and decided that he needs to make a statement that is more important than necessarily having the best team on the field. The Vikings did what I think was an obvious thing and deactivated Adrian Peterson in the wake of the charges against him. And let's be clear here, this is a new reality. This is not about, well, it should be or there's precedent. We are a big business. This is the business of football. Violence against women and children is not okay. Never should have been okay. But if there was any ambiguity to anybody out there, stop it.
Well said, Mike. And let me jump in on your point on the Ray McDonald situation with the 49ers. They're doing their due diligence, fact-finding, as are the police. My understanding, just talking to 49ers sources, Rich, is they view the Ray McDonald situation as different from the Ray Rice situation. According to the information they have found, there were witnesses. There is certainly some question as to whether this case will move forward, how far it'll move forward. And from what I'm told, the 49ers are not simply hiding behind due process. This is one where, at this point, they believe their guy. And if they find out that Ray McDonald has been disingenuous or lied to them, they will cut him.
Well, in case you are just joining us, you should see at the bottom of the screen, linebacker Greg Hardy has been declared inactive by the Carolina Panthers, who to this point were saying they were willing to let the due process, the legal process play out for Greg Hardy, and it may go into next year. But for the moment, he has been sat by his team, a healthy scratch by the Carolina Panthers today. You're watching NFL Game Day Morning. Much more on this story as well as the rest of your Week 2 news, getting you ready for kickoff live on NFL Network.
Thursday Night Football heads to Atlanta for a clash in the NFC South.
Come on.
Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Roddy White lead the Falcons' high-powered offense against the new-look Bucs. Football starts here. Bucs. Falcons. Touchdown. Thursday Night Football, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on NFL Network and CBS.
Inconceivable.
I'm the king of the world!
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Hey! I'm walking in! I'm walking in!
We're not in Kansas anymore.
How do you like them apples?
Thank you. Very little. I'll have what she's having.
Hasta la vista, baby!
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Houston, we have a problem!
You talking to me?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a earmuffs! Show me the mini! Say hello to my little friend.
Pepsi mini cans. Little can. Epic satisfaction.
Axe Dark and new Axe Gold shower gels. 2 irresistible fragrances.
Hey, Drew. How was that bye week?
Great. Feel great.
So why should I start you today?
I've got 16 TDs and 2,000 yards so far this season.
Still just the one Super Bowl, yeah?
Oh, come on. No. Another highlight.
Billy, talk to me.
Tim's fantasy team is racking up the points. We've got to make some moves, boss. I'm a people person. People really like me.
Next.
1,000 yards. 9 TDs.
Next.
Man, good luck in there, bro.
Bringing fantasy football to your TV. The NFL on Xbox One.
Who says desirable can't also be responsible? With 46 standard safety features, the Lexus RX is proof that fun can be good for you. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Help, Burger
King changed the $5 bill. It starts here, America. Seriously, though? This is a real idea from my brain.
Try the spicy original chicken sandwich, now on the Burger King 2 for $5 menu, where you can mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for just $5, only at Burger King.
The 2015 Hall of Fame nominees are revealed, and we'll break down their chances of making it to Canton. Pro Football Hall of Fame, The Contenders, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network.
Once again, the breaking news, Greg Hardy has been deactivated by the Carolina Panthers. Greg Hardy, the linebacker, who was found guilty by a judge of assaulting and threatening his ex-girlfriend back in July. He requested a trial by jury, which is his right because he was convicted of a misdemeanor in the state of North Carolina. That means he gets a jury trial in November. And Albert Breer, who's in Charlotte, North Carolina for us, the bottom line that the Panthers have been saying all along is that they were going to wait for this process to be played out. Does that mean that the stance has changed for good? What can you tell us from what you know just first blush here?
Well, I mean, you look at the words of owner Jerry Richardson over the course of this week, speaking out against domestic violence. I think a lot of people were out there putting heat on him for those comments and continuing to play Greg Hardy. And obviously the timing of this is curious because the Panthers had insisted all week, going into yesterday, that Greg Hardy would start. People in Hardy's camp this morning still thought that he was going to play. And what becomes interesting here is now how they proceed going forward. He doesn't go to court for another 2 months. His next court date is November 17th during the Panthers' bye week. So the question now becomes how the Panthers proceed with this player over the coming days and weeks, whether they'll conduct their own investigation. And when you're comparing this against the other two high-profile stories in the NFL, it's probably a little closer to Adrian Peterson's, not Ray Rice's, because Adrian Peterson was deactivated before the legal process played out. Of course, with Rice, the legal process is finished. Rich?
That's Albert Breer in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Ian Rappaport and Michael Silver are here in studio. Ian, you said essentially from your sources when we were showing that video of Hardy reporting for work, he thought he was coming for a game.
That's exactly right. Rich, talking to Panther sources a couple seconds ago, this was a decision that was made this morning, really about an hour ago, from what I understand. So Greg Hardy showed up at the facility, thought he was going to play, and was told he would be inactive. And, Rich, this was an organizational decision, and a Panther source tells me that owner Jerry Richardson was very much involved all the way through in this decision. So clearly his words earlier this week were something that not just the fans took to heart, but that the entire organization listened to, adhered to, and now Greg Hardy is inactive.
Inactive, but what does that mean, Michael Silver, moving forward? I mean, can you just basically deactivate this guy for the rest of the season? Is that essentially what the Carolina Panthers can do?
Well, Mr. Richardson owns the football team. Certainly the union can fight it if they believe it's a deactivation based on conduct that should be covered in the personal conduct policy, and that's an argument for later. But new world order right now, Rich, this is not the NFL as we knew it before Monday. That Ray Rice video heightened public awareness to a degree that very smart people like Jerry Richardson have had to sit down and rethink the way he conducts his business. And I applaud him for making this move. You're sending a message to sponsors, to our many women fans, and most of all to all of us who work in this great league that this behavior is not tolerable.
Andrea Kramer is now joining us live here on NFL Game Day Morning. Andrea, you just heard what Michael Silver said. It's a whole new world in the National Football League, certainly in regards to this issue. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely, Rich. And to play off of what Mike and Ian have said, it's about, to me, owners taking a lot more responsibility here, because just as Jerry Richardson did what he did in Carolina, the Wilfs, all of whom are attorneys, by the way, and who want to focus on details and facts, they really led the discussion in terms of making the decision to deactivate Adrian Peterson. One of the things that Mike just alluded to, it is a different climate. The current climate in the NFL is different right now. These past couple of weeks, the development of the domestic violence policy, what's gone on with Ray Rice has really opened people's eyes. And so when I spoke to Rick Spielman last night, and he detailed for me going into that meeting, he said that they got hit over the head with the formal charges about Adrian Peterson. He got into a meeting with the Wilfs, with the Executive Vice President of Legal Affairs, Kevin Warren, with head coach Mike Zimmer, and he said, They took into consideration that Adrian Peterson had to go to Houston to turn himself into the authorities. They did not have enough facts. They made that decision right then and there, a tough decision to deactivate him. But going forward, again, as is the case in Carolina, there's, it's uncertain what's going to happen. But clearly in Minnesota, the feeling is, and Rick Spielman told me this directly, he said, we're not taking it one game at a time. We are taking it literally 1 hour at a time because we have no idea what else is going to surface out there in terms of information, pictures, video. But clearly, people taking much more of a stance in terms of what's acceptable behavior from NFL players, Rich.
And it's interesting, Andrea, as I'm about to turn to Judy Battista in front of league headquarters in New York, that Jerry Richardson is the owner who takes this stance potentially not just for the Carolina Panthers, but on behalf of the National Football League. The Carolina Panthers are the only team in the National Football League that does not have its team logo at the center of the field. The NFL Shield has been at the center of the field, in Carolina for years. And it's Jerry Richardson who's the one who's going ahead and deactivating this player, even though the usual school of thought in the NFL and also with teams is to wait for the entire process to play out. Now, he has already been convicted by a judge. However, again, Greg Hardy, it was his right in the state of Carolina, when you are convicted of a misdemeanor and a domestic violence case such as this, he has the right to a trial by jury, and that is going to convene in November 17th. It is September 14th. Judy Battista joining us now outside of league headquarters in New York. This is a watershed moment for just having an owner, I guess, take it at the club level, taking this sort of action and not waiting for, I guess, the commissioner to step in, even though this matter already hit a judge's court in July. And that's what I asked Michael Silver is, what is going to be the standard moving forward?
Well, I think the standard is moving very rapidly here, Rich. I don't have any doubt that if that Ray Rice video doesn't come out on Monday, we would probably still have status quo and Greg Hardy would probably have played. And we wouldn't be now turning to the 49ers to see what they're going to do in their game later today. But there's no question. League owners have been watching very closely the heat that has come on Roger Goodell and the league office over the last week. They know the credibility of the league is at stake here. They understand that they have to do something. And certainly you wonder if when they saw in Carolina the Wilfs move very quickly on the Adrian Peterson case to deactivate him, you have to think that Jerry Richardson said, that's it, we're deactivating him. We can't go on like this. They know they've got to clean it up. They know they have to send a very strong message very quickly. They are losing credibility. They know this week has been terribly damaging for the NFL, and they're taking steps very quickly now to try to rectify it.
And Judy, at a time when, as you said, Roger Goodell has essentially hired an investigator to investigate the investigation, and his leadership is very much under siege, let's remember who really runs the NFL and who, in fact, are Roger Goodell's bosses, and that is the 32 franchise owners. And they didn't get here by accident. They understand how to run businesses. Right now, this business is stained by this week and what has preceded. And so I think it's very reasonable for the Wolves and for Jerry Richardson. As you said, things change rapidly. Andrea said by the hour in Minnesota is how they're considering it. Shrewd and prescient move, I believe, in the wake of all of this.
And real quick, before we throw it a break, everyone is going to start looking at the York family. And I know you said in the previous segment, Ray McDonald, they view this as a different situation. Can you just in 30 seconds button up what's going on there and what the Niners stance is on Ray McDonald?
Yeah, Rich, from what I understand, talking to 49er sources, they view the Ray McDonald situation as different from some of the others. There is some question as to whether or not the police are going to proceed with this investigation. There were several witnesses. They believe what Ray McDonald is telling them. They believe that this is one that really does need to play out. And, Rich, from what I understand, talking to 49er sources, if he has been disingenuous with them, they will cut him.
And they play tonight in their new facility against the Bears on NBC, where Bob Costa sits at halftime. And I think we'll probably hear a word or two from Bob, not to tell him how to do his job, but I think he's probably got something teed up. We are talking about a whole bunch of stuff here, getting ready for week number 2 here on